Hey friends, today was one of those days that just makes you smile. I had breakfast with a friend down at a local diner, you know, the kind where they bring out the coffee that's really too hot to taste right away. It's got lots of energy and buzz from the locals that are there, and it serves just a really yummy breakfast. We had a great time and laughed a lot and talked about things that you talk about with friends, and just had such a beautiful morning. And then we decided to go thrifting. Now, thrifting is not something I've done a lot in my life, but in recent years it's something I've really enjoyed. And as we've purchased different homes and tried to set things up, I've enjoyed going for more nostalgic pieces, getting the old heavy wood. And so anyway, I was kind of looking for something in particular today that ultimately I did not find, but I did find a pair of pants that were name brand pants for $4. I wasn't even looking at the pants because it's still hot here, and I don't know, I don't want my legs covered up right now, but I am taking a trip in October, and I thought, man, these will be just absolutely wonderful. So I was kind of excited about finding that. And, you know, I don't remember if there was anything else. I don't think there was anything else we purchased out and about. We went to a few different places, and then we started driving around the city and looking at places, homes that I had saved on Zillow that are on the market right now. Now, I'm not looking for a new home right now, but it is kind of fun to dream. I do like looking at houses. I don't know if you do. And my husband and I are just in a season of waiting, really, right now, to see what we feel led to do about our living situation. So we have a home in Wyoming and one in Arizona. And at some point, I don't know if it's this year, 10 years from now, I don't know when, but at some point we'll need to just have one place, of course. We are very blessed that we can have homes to escape winter and escape extreme summer, but at some point we will. So we kind of are just looking around and looking at places. Now, most of the homes we went by are way out of my price range, but it was kind of fun to dream and just to look and gab about what is going on in the city and what it all looks like. That was really a lot of fun. Of course, when I got back home, Maggie and Sophie, with their little rubber feet, were excited to see me, jumping up to my elbow. That is absolutely amazing. And we played for a little bit. I made some fresh brewed tea. We went outside and just really enjoyed the sun, the calm, and the beauty of the day, the flexibility to enjoy the day that unfolds. And, you know, that's true whether we're having a meal with a friend and just relaxing and not rushing through that, or if we're going on a slow walk. You know, with walks, I don't wear my Apple Watch anymore. Maybe I will again, but I am not interested in measuring any of steps or time or what have you, because that's not what it's about right now. Definitely, what do they say? A body in motion stays in motion. I want to stay in motion, but I'm not walking to win a race or to achieve some goal. I'm actually doing it to enjoy myself and enjoy the body that I've been given, and that it can walk, and that I can be quiet in the moment and reflect and think about the goodness of God. Since my last video, I wanted to share a little epiphany I had with you. So it was a morning this week that I had a coaching appointment with my coach, and we were discussing kind of the tension between do I just fully retire, or do I build something, as if there's not something in between, which we all know there could be. And I really didn't land on anything at the end of that coaching session, although, gosh, coaching is so valuable. I've had this same coach for almost 4 years. And so she knows me and she can recognize patterns, and we have great conversations. It's just a really good and beneficial time. But we didn't really land on anything at the end of our session. But later that night, and I was really purposeful that whole day about not turning on TV, not turning on music. I did do some reading of a book and a paper book, and just kind of was intentionally living slow, and cooked a really good meal. And that evening, as I was doing dishes at the kitchen sink, looking out the window to the pool, I said out loud to myself, to Maggie, to God, is it okay to just be retired? And y'all, literally immediately I heard, yes, it's okay to just be retired. And this whole film of peace just washed over me. I just felt such peace about that. And then I said, well, for how long? How will I know when it's time to do the next thing? And I kid you not, it was just silent. It was just silent. And it reminded me of a time after my last divorce, before I married Joe. Yes, I've been divorced more than once, but I've been married to Joe for 20 years, so thank God we've finally got this figured out. But I said, I was brokenhearted, I was weary, and I said, am I going to be single forever? Can I just not figure this out, what it is that I'm doing or how I'm choosing or whatever? Am I just going to be single forever? And I heard immediately, no, you're not going to be single forever. And I said immediately, well, when and who and how's this going to work out? And what do I need to do to make this happen? And da-da-da-da-da. And I really felt silence. It was like, I gave you your answer. The end. And I, in that instance and the other night, I recognized it quicker this time. It was like, yeah, I'll let you know when the next thing. But right now, this is your answer. And so I'm very grateful for that and really feel at peace. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm shutting down my coaching business or not taking on new clients, but I'm not actively marketing. I'm not looking for new clients. Coaching it doesn't feel like work. And so I think to me, it feels like just something natural to do in retirement. But building a business is not where I'm at right now. And I don't think that's where I'm meant to pursue. I think there are lessons to be learned in the stillness and in the slowing down right now that are more valuable than me pursuing the next big thing. And I'm grateful for it. So what does being fully retired in this season really look like? For me, it looks like slowing down and learning how to live intentionally. That whole slow living thing has come out recently really big. And slow has never been a speed that I have ascribed to. It's not a speed that I tried to achieve, right? We go fast, we go hard. And so for an Enneagram 8, slow living is really contrary to how we're wired. But I also think that for us, this is where the magic lies. This is where the lesson lies. And I think we can do more if we just slow down a little bit. And so I'm looking forward to the lessons that are coming in this season about that. I'm looking forward to reading more books that are just paper that you turn the page. I'm looking forward to Christmas and traveling up the mountain and finding our Christmas tree with the grandkids. Maybe I'll try a little knitting. I do know how to crochet, but I've never knitted, and that's just always been something I thought would be cool. And one of the projects that I've always said I wanted to do and was going to do was taking all those old paper photos that we have. My kids were born in the early 90s, and so I've got, double prints of all the photos. So I want to go through and really scrutinize, take the very best of the ones that will tell our story, scan them, and make a digital photo book of some sort that I could also annotate and let them know what was going on at that time, where they were, all the people in the photos that, we wish we could know from the old photographs that our grandparents left us that don't have any names. So anyway, that's another project that I think will be a lot of fun. And then we'll see where this goes. I don't know. We'll just see. One of the things that I would tell you that I am pretty darn good at it is mastering conflict, because the other side of conflict is so rich. That is where all the beauty lies. You don't want to leave unresolved conflict. That's worse than having a conflict, right? Because that just bubbles up and it just never goes away. So you want to walk through the conflict. But I'll tell you what, I have not been as good at mastering the internal conflict that I've had within myself. And so this has actually been very valuable to me. It's been very rich to walk through this time and enjoy sitting with different decisions for a minute to see what really makes sense. And then taking the time to say, well, if we decided this, what would that look like? And moving through it. So if you're in your own transition and maybe you're wondering what's next for you, maybe you don't have to know the timelines. Maybe you can just know what's next. Just live fully in this day and enjoy it. Enjoy the thrift store finds. Enjoy the iced tea. Enjoy the dogs and the little walks. And be present with whatever's going on right now, not worrying about tomorrow. Thank you for spending a little bit of your time with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you find your own thrift store find, and I will see you next time. Hi, babies. Oh, I won't get you in the pool. Hey, don't do that. There. Hey, girls.